Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Welcome to Game Time with Hub, your all-access pass to the hottest stories in football, basketball, boxing, and wrestling. Whether it's game-winning touchdowns, buzzer beaters, knockout punches, or jaw-dropping suplexes, we've got it all covered. Here's your host, Hub.
Hey, what's up, everybody, man? It's Sunday morning, recap of night one, WrestleMania. Let's dive into it, man. It was some shocking events, man. But start off, man. Let's get into like the opening match, which was Jey Uso versus Gunther. Of course, you know Jey Uso is now your world heavyweight champion. And congrats to Us on that. And you know what, man, after the match was over and you see on different posts and you see people that are like posting like, like the sad faces and all, like the angry faces because he won. And I'm guessing some people's like, they don't like how the finish was. But you got to think about it, though. You know, like Gunther been a pain in his side the whole like storyline build up. And then when he did the Jimmy, he choked out his brother while he just like basically just sat there and watched. He blooded his brother up and he choked him out. So what better way for him to win the title is by putting the submission on Gunther. And Gunther at the same time knew he wasn't going to escape it. If you watched the post show and they were like, oh, it was on real tight. So, you know, instead of him passing out, he went ahead and just tapped. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I felt like the match was good. You know, I'm glad he won, you know, and it's well due, man. It is well deserved for him, man. Congrats to him. I'm looking forward to seeing his title run, and maybe it's another rematch with Gunther. Maybe he move on to other matches. So the Raw brand got themselves a new champion in Jey Uso. Other matches on the card, you know, the New Day captured the World Tag Team Champions as they beat the War Raiders. It was that match was okay. It wasn't the best in my opinion, but I had a feeling the New Day was going to win. I thought, you know, somehow like Big E would be involved in it, but he wasn't. And typical, you know, like Hillish New Day fashion, the way they won. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing that on Monday when they come out, because I know they're going to have their little promo. Maybe it sets up a rematch with the War Raiders. Who knows? Other matches, another good match was Jade versus Naomi. Now that was a good match. You know what? The way it ended with that power bomb that Jade hit on Naomi was nothing but just impressive. It took a lot. You know, it could have went very bad, but you know, the chemistry with them two in the ring, it worked out well. But also, if you notice, like Naomi's entrance, you know, when she was coming down the aisle, it was things on her like the little like Titantron thingy, and they were like misunderstood or underappreciated. The third wheel, it was different things in there, so it had like little Easter eggs in like the entrance, so you could sit back and be like, oh wow, yeah. So you know, like Jay got the victory, and let's see how that plays out in tonight with Bianca Belair and this triple threat. You know, does either one of them interfere into that and cost her the title? We're going to see. We're going to find out. I feel like that story right there is not over. So it's a lot more layers to be, you know, like peeled in that. So we're gonna see that. Another match was El Grande Americano. He took on Ray Phoenix. He subbed in for Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio got injured on SmackDown. As I noted yesterday on the pod, I was like, you know, I wonder if Ray is going to be 100%. You know, and I was thinking it was going to be Ray Phoenix for the way that the Andre the Giant Battle Royal ended up being Ray. You know, and of course El Grande Americano cheated to win with the plate and the mask. You know, so I know this storyline with him versus the Luchador, especially with the acquisition of, you know, acquiring AAA. This right here is going to be a nice story as well. You know, I'll be glad to see when he gets unmasked. Is it really Chad Gable? We don't know. But, you know, as far as like Vegas was electric last night, man. It was a good crowd. You know, over 61,000 was in attendance last night. It said it sold out. But the moving on to the women's heavyweight undisputed championship match, Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair And it looked like Charlotte was going to win in some instances. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Because I just feel like, Charlotte had her time. And I know she's going to get the belt again eventually. But let Tiffany Stratton run, build her up a little bit more. Instead of just feeding her to Charlotte, and then Charlotte just carries the belt for months. But it was a good match too. Overall, it got kind of long-winded towards the end, and I was like, okay, now when is this going to be over? But overall, it was a nice, solid match. And then we move on to the U.S. title match. This right here was a good match, hands down. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Jacob gets the W, man. Then you see Haku come out, and he congratulated Jacob, which was a cool thing. I was like, man, look, man, the inner child of me was like, man, it's Haku. Like, Ming for those who don't know as well. But that right there was a good match, man. And congrats to Jacob Fatu. Like I said yesterday, like, he's in this spot because when he first came in, he basically just like took over. He came in as Solo's, like right hand man, and basically just like outshine Solo in the whole thing, the whole like bloodline and everything like that. But a solid match, a good win for Jacob. Now, does this start causing friction between him and Solo? I don't know, but I hope Jacob's run as the U.S. champ is a little long. Not too long, but let that man carry the belt for a little bit. It was cool to see him win, man. Shout outs to him, man. Simone Werewolf. And then let's top it off with the main event. Man, as I told y'all yesterday, man, listen. Man, I wanted Roman to win, but I told y'all I said it's gonna be Seth, and I said it's gonna be Paul Heyman helping out Seth. And it was the swerve of all swerves, man. It was like 2 back-to-back swerves, man. First, it was Heyman sliding in the steel chair. But wait, before I start talking about that, let's talk about the whole like the whole storyline of it. Like Roman Reigns, when he was in the ring and he took off his Ulafala. So normally he hands it over to the wise man. And then he realized at that point, dude, I ain't got nobody in my corner. So he puts it in the corner. And it's just like telling the story of the story. But moving on, though, like towards the end of the match, it was, like Paul Heyman sliding in the chair, CM Punk thinking that, it's go time. I'm going to hit Roman. Next Paul Heyman, low blow CM Punk. And then, man, Roman just sitting there just laughing. He thinking, hey, I got my wise man back, this, that, and the other. Then the second swerve hit. You know what I mean? Like he had Seth Rollins sitting there. Them flashbacks of the old Shield stuff, with hit him in the back with the chair. Paul Heyman just low blows Roman. Then it's like, damn. Then, so Seth Rollins leaves out with Paul Heyman. We'll see how this going to go. Now, does it turn into night 2 tonight where do they help out Cena beat Cody and it's all like part of The Rock's plan, or is this a whole different thing? All I know is Backlash and some SummerSlam is going to be lit. It feels like Backlash probably is going to be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And then that leads up until like SummerSlam with Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. So it's a lot on the table. It's a lot of the story to be untold. Seth Rollins during the match was telling Roman basically like, you don't have a bloodline no more. Your wise man isn't with you. He was trying to get him to, like join forces with him. And let's take out CM Punk and put him through a table. Then Roman got out. He was with it at first. Then he thought about it like, you know what? I ain't trusting nobody. Because everybody he had trusted has turned on him. You know what I mean? So if you really think about it, yeah, he was harsh. But, like Seth Rollins put him in that spot. But in the same token, if you look at everything like the Usos, like even though he was hard on Jimmy, Jay, especially Jay, and then with the whole like Sami Zayn thing, he hit him in the back with a chair at that Royal Rumble a few years ago when he was fighting Kevin Owens. And then Solo with the whole bloodline after WrestleMania. They turned on the wise man. Then, hey, it's been a lot, man. It's been a lot. But it all stems from the whole Shield thing with Seth Rollins hitting him in the back with the chair. And the crazy part is the only person that's been actually like loyal to Roman Reigns that ain't turned on Roman Reigns was John Moxley, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose. Because even when he was there, they were still tight, even though they was on different, you know what I mean, like paths or whatever. Their paths never like, you know, got to a point where one going to cross the other. Like they had their fights or whatever, but they never like, you know, like crossed. So it's going to be interesting to see how it is. It feels like with Paul Heyman leaving Roman, it's like the Joker takes away Alfred from Batman, and let's see how this thing going to roll. So, but we're looking on to night 2, though. Big main event, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I still feel like it's John Cena's night. I hope so anyway. But, you know, they said The Rock is in Hawaii, so hopefully he can make himself available between Hawaii and Vegas by the time the main event starts. But it's an awesome card lined up for the night. Randy Orton got his open challenge. Rumors is it's going to be Ruth. That'd be pretty cool to see him back in WWE. We know that Aleister Black is probably going to debut on the 25th, which is this coming Friday. But just looking at tonight, and also Lyra Valkyria, she has to have a change of partner because Bayley's now hurt. He got hurt the shoulder beginning of night 1 last night. Rumors is it might be Becky Lynch. Who knows? She is there because they showed clips of her celebrating Seth Rollins as he won last night. So it's a whole lot that's going to unpack tonight, man. You still got the Sin City Street fight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. That's probably going to be a banger as well. They got the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title with Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor. I'm still thinking it's going to be Dom that's going to win Ultimate Swerve against Finn Balor. Maybe we get to see Demon Balor come out of this at the end. Who knows? It's overdue for that. But so that's it for night 1, man. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap up night 2 and preview Monday Night Raw, which probably going to be lit tomorrow night. Normally the Raw after WrestleMania is always lit. NFL draft is coming up on Thursday, so we got to put some things together for that. And we still got NBA playoffs. Like today, we got the Thunder is playing at 1, the Celtics playing at 3:30, the Celtics and the Magic. And then we got the night game tonight with the Warriors and the Rockets. So it's a lot of basketball on the day. Still got WrestleMania night 2, got the NFL draft coming up. There's a lot going on in the world of sports. So we're going to wrap it up with that. So until next time, we out of here.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Game Time with Hub. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss Game Time action. See you next time.